into you. And today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful little treat bag using the Rustic Christmas. So this is the little bag you get. Oh, I didn't realize there was two different varieties. So there's two different varieties. There's this one that I've done here, or this kind of the leafy one. So as soon as I've made this one, I'm gonna see. No, I think I'm gonna stick with the same. So I'm gonna get one of these. Now that's all I am actually using from the Rustic Christmas, just the envelopes, because if you remember, or if you've not watched me, I made the cascading cards. I've made badges using the pegs, so I'm using everything out of the set to make different things. Now we're going to actually be using the wanted to say dies, because I think this is rather lovely and I've been dying to use it. So away we go, and this is, of course, is from it as well. So we're going to make this envelope. Right, so without further ado, let me just put these to one side and we'll bring in our bag. Okay, let me just take off my blade because I don't want to accidentally use that. I was trying to see if I could see on YouTube. Just bear with me. I'm just seeing if it's going to update. It's not. I go on home. Does it bring anything up? I was hoping to be able to see what I was doing, to see whether you're seeing me all right, but unfortunately it's not, so I can't do it. So I'm hoping, I'm going to, just let me adjust that I'm going to get this in the right space for you, because I'm a bit disappointed I managed to get it in the wrong place last time. Okay, so as I say, here we go with the envelope. So what you're going to do, put it on the flat side, and you're going to put it at 1/2 inch. So put it in at 1/2 inch, and you're going to give that a really good crease. Now I am going to flip it over and do the 1/2 inch on this side. The reason being that I have found personally that this seems to be, if I put this now in at 1/2 inch, it's making me out to be a liar now, but I find that I never quite get it right. So by turning it over, I know I've measured 1/2 inch on that side and 1/2 inch on that side using the same measure. Then I'm going to turn it to the bottom, and we're going to do 1/2 inch on the bottom. Right, now let's just move that out of the way a minute. And what we need to do is we need to score it on those 1/2 inch lines. So I'm going to bring in my bone folder. Let's make sure that we've got it. I think I've done it not in the right place. I'll fold it that way. Okay, so we're trying to get it accurate as we can on that 1/2 inch side, and give it a crease both ways, and do the same on the other side. 1/2 inch, make sure get those 1/2 inch there. We'll fold down the top. Let's get that right. I've got my score line a bit out there. So I want to get it right. So let's score that across nicely. And I'm happy with that. And the bottom, and score that. I got that. Okay, and do it both ways. do it both ways on this as well. And put that right there. Right, so what we're going to do is push your fingers in and start to ease this so that you get a point there like that. Okay, so I've pushed my fingers in, got a point there like that. So from the flat side, I'm going to push it so that it's going flat, and then I'm going to push these to make 2 points like that. Now, I'm going to really use my bone folder and really crease these. This is really important. So just get those really creased as best you can. And I'm going to do it the other way. So I'm going to flatten them out and do it the other way too. And there we go, the other way too. Okay, right, now what we're going to do at the top, where's my scissors, we are going to just cut in, well actually we'll come along the score line first. So I'm going to come along the score line, can you see, I'm just going to cut to the folds, right? And then I'm just going to put in a slight wedge like that. Okay, and I'm going to do the same at the other side. So I'm going to come in along the score line. So, all right, along the score line, and then I'm just going to wedge that like that. Right, now what else I'm going to do is I'm looking at this side here, and I'm going to go to put in a diagonal in. Okay, so if you can see, it's not quite a diagonal, so I've now cut it as a diagonal. So I'm going to do the same on the other side, and to get my scissors and take it so that I've got a diagonal there. Okay, and then take those out. Right, now these bottom ones, what we want to do is fold them over. Right, make sure that you get that in there folded over, and then you want the other one folded over. Now the best thing I found is to get that bone folder inside and really crease this down. Okay, and I'm even pushing it down a bit because we want them to be as flat as possible. Okay, I think I've gone a bit out with my score line actually. So I'm going to just readjust my bag. So there we go. I've got it now. Yeah, I needed to, I'd scored a little bit, I'd folded a little bit wonky on this score line, so I hadn't quite got it right. So just go in if that's the case and just sort out your score lines, but there should be. Okay, right, now if you've got plenty of time, use your Tombow to glue it, and it looks as though my red liner tape has disappeared. Okay, I'll just grab a new one. What I did on my one is I just glued it. Okay, so I only glued it on my first one, but this one I'm going to put, because I haven't got the time to wait for it to dry, I'm going to put red liner tape on to help it be in position. I don't know what's happened there. I'm going to just cut that off, I think, because I don't know. Okay, let's pop that there a minute. So I'm just going to get some red liner tape and stick it on the bottom. All butterfingers today. Right, so I'm just going to put a bit on because I'm going to put glue on, but my red liner tape will just hold it while the glue is drying. Okay, so I'll just put a bit on there, and I'm going to put a bit on the other side. Okay, oops, oh, butterfingers. I'll do anywhere really. just so long as it's going to pull into position. Right, so I'm just going to take off my release tape. I did, yeah. Is that coming up? It's no good, is it? There, that's it. There, finally got it. And what I'm going to do is put glue all around the actual bit that hasn't got any release tape. So I'm going to get it so that it'll stick with that. I'm just going to hold it now. As I say, go inside and press down. I'm going and pressing down. And there, that's it. And then I'll do the same with this. Get your release tape. Make sure that you adhere your release tape firmly down. I haven't. I should have really gone over it with my bone folder, really. I'm rushing. There we go. So anywhere the red liner tape is not, I'm sticking the glue. And then hopefully, there we go, that's going to go down on there. I'm going to go back in again and really press down with my bone folder. Now it will fit in to Lindor chocolates. I think it will fit in more. I've got some Marks and Spencer truffles, and I think it'll fit about 3 of those in. But we'll put the linked ones in. Well, I'll just wait 1 minute. I'm ahead of myself. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue these back to reinforce this lid. So we'll glue those back. Put a bit of glue on either side of those. And go glue those down. I'll do this for a second or two. Right, now I did this the wrong way around when I did it, but I'm going to do it the right way around this time. So I'm going to put a couple of marks, and I'll show you what I've done in a minute, just to punch holes for my ribbon. So I've looked at this being the centre point, and I've gone about halfway between the next scallop to stick my mark. And you could then use your poker tool if you haven't got one of these. So you take your pick tool you could use. This happens to be, I think, 1/8, and so it makes ribbon threading through much easier. Right, I'm just going to pinch slightly in and bring this over. I'm rushing and this hasn't stuck properly. Where's my bone folder? Get in. I keep having to attack it because it is quite wanting to come up. In fact, I had toyed with the idea of glue gunning it if it didn't behave, but the other one has. The other one behaves, so it does behave. Just need to persevere with the sticking. Okay, so I'm pinching those 2 in a bit and pop in these. In fact, this is where I do need to put them in because this helps support it while thinking. So if I put my truffles in there and then just bring this over the top, and as I say, you can go, because we've got those crease lines, you can go quite far down with pinching it. Just make sure it's all good at the top. And I want it, of course, level. So make sure that you have got it level. And then I will... want it, make sure that they're level either side. I think that's about right. And I'm going to just put my pencil mark in there and there, and now I've got some guidelines. In fact, I'm not going to do it as close as those to the edge. I'm going to do it a little bit further down. So, but I've got to guide us to where they want to be. So don't want them right dead against the top. So there, that's it. So about that far down. I have got some pale papaya ribbon that, you look at this. This is the new in colour, and it is the pecan pie, and it goes beautifully with it. So if you've got any old if you haven't got the pecan pie ribbon, you can use your see how much I want. Come off about that much. You can use your pale papaya if you've got pale papaya. It will work. Okay, or you could do contrasting colour as well. So I decided I'd go for pale papaya this time. So I'm just going to thread them through on either side. Now what I won't do is I won't neaten my ribbon off, because I've not decided who this is going to yet, and I could put other things in it. So I'm going to put these in for now, but I could put other things in as well. So I will tie my ribbon, but I will leave it long so that I can go back in. So we're threading our ribbon through our holes like this, and then take these down. Okay, and then we're just going to tie our bow. And this is how our box fastens. There we go. And you can mess about with your ribbon. I'm not going to do too much because, as I say, I'm going to be able to go in, but you get the idea. That's where the bow sits. And same as this one, I've left my ribbon for the moment so I can get inside, rearrange it, and then tie the ribbon, and then I'll do the chopping later. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we'll put that to one side, and we're going to make a tiny envelope. So what we need is to bring my trimmer in, and I want my sharper blade. There we go. I've taken my blade out. I do a lot of messing about with photocopier paper when I'm designing. So I find that photocopier paper really blunts your blades. So I keep an old blade, and if you can see there, I keep a spot on it. So I know this is my old blade, but this is great for using on my photocopier paper because this is already blunt, and it'll cut it out so that it does give it a nasty edge, but it's all right for doing whatever I'm doing to get it to make up like the envelope. In fact, I've got that somewhere and I must have pushed it out of the way, but I've got my measurements there anyway. So what I need is a 1-inch strip. So I'm going to put this in my trimmer, and I need a 1-inch strip, and this paper is the lily pad. Is it called lily pad? This beautiful paper, Lily Pond Lane it's called, designer series paper, and I've ended up with little bits, and I just thought that would be perfect for making my little envelope. So you need 1-inch by 2 3/4. So we want 2 3/4. So cut that, and I can save that for something else. Right, now we're going to score it on the 2 3/4 side at 1 inch. Okay, so we're going to do that at 1 inch, and then going to score it at 2 3/8. So put it in at 2 3/8. Oops, missed it. 2 3/8. Get 2 3/8, and we're going to score it. Then we're going to turn it on the 1 inch side, and I'm going to put it at the first mark. Now the first mark here, that is 1/8. Okay, so that very first mark. So I'm going to put it at the first mark, make sure it keeps straight. Okay, so the first mark, and then I'm going to score it. I'm going to spin it around and put it back at that first little mark, which is 1/8, and then I'm going to do that. So you end up with it like this. Okay, let me move that out of the way. Okay, so now we are going to fold it on our 1 inch score line, and there's my bone folder. Okay, and we're also going to fold it on that narrow bit there. So I'll fold it on that narrow bit, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut away this score line here on either side. So I'm going to cut down the score line like that, and I'm going to turn it on its side, and the next part I am just going to give it a little notch. Okay, so can you see I've given it a little tiny notch there, and I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to cut down the score line. So this is on the 1 inch bit here. Going to turn it, and then I'm going to just notch it up a little bit. That's it, to the score line there. So you'll end up with it like that. Okay, now the top bit again, I'm going to cut down the score line on both sides. So cut down that score line. I am then going to give it just a little bit bigger. You see, I've done it a little bit bigger notch. Okay, like that. So I've done it a bigger notch on there. I'm going to turn it all the way round, and I'm going to do a bigger notch that way. I've done it wrong way. That way. Okay, bigger notch that way. So there we go. Oh, that's made me jump. Not expecting my husband home, and he's just come home. Made me jump. Right, now the top bit, I'm going to just take a little bit of a wedge there, like that. Oops, there we go. So let me just wedge that again properly, because that didn't quite. So I've done a little wedge like that. I'm going to do the same at the other side. Okay. So you end up with a piece that looks like that. So we're going to tuck these. We're going to use the score line and just fold those in, and the same on the other side. Okay, so there's our 2 lines bringing it in, and then we're going to bring this up. So we're going to put some glue on this bit here. So let's just get that off there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue up the edge, so right at the very edge, and I'm going to do that on both sides of this. I'm not putting it right to the bottom because we've got that little bit of a notch. I'm just starting it a little bit up. Okay, and then we'll fold that up and hold that down, and that's going to be our mini envelope. Okay, whoops, mini envelope. So do that. That should be all right. Right, so we'll put that to one side a moment. Then you've got this in the wanted to say dies. You've got this little die here that looks like a postcard to me. So I think that's what it's meant to be. So I'm just going to cut out this postcard. So I'll move that out of the way and put it on my plates and cut this out. So this is just off camera, so just cutting that out, and I'll show you what it's like. So let's get my pokey tool. So there we go, and it there, look at that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I designed the envelope to go with that. That's what it's all about. Now I'm of course going to stick this on here, and my postcard is going to be coming out. So that's my little letter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stamp on here, and I'm going to use, I think, Summer Splash. So I'm going to use the Summer Splash and the stamp. Now it's about somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Now you're probably going to have difficulty. Oh, there. You can see them. Now these little stamps are from the Kangaroo and Company. Now there might be other stamp sets that have got tiny little sentiments, but I thought, I wonder if they will fit on. Now I think that Thanks a Bunch will fit on just as much as any of these here will fit on. Even that Happy For You would actually fit across it, so you could put that on as well. But I thought it was rather sweet, and I thought I'm going to use them. So I'm starting with Just For You. So I'm going to ink up Just For You, and it will just fit. Let's fit it there. Okay, Just For You, and it just fits on those lines. And then the other side, I'm putting Love You Much. So just going to have to bring that out a bit so I can see, hopefully, what I'm doing. Okay, it's a bit difficult with the camera in, but I've done it. I've done it. Right, let's just move these out of the way. Okay, so I don't get those. So I'll bring this closer so that you can see. So it just fits in the lines like you're writing a postcard, like that's your address side and that's your writing side. So I thought that was rather sweet. And then I just like to put on there. Oh, no, it's nothing. Just stick that in there with it coming out so that you can pull that out. You've got that there. So that's kind of coming out there. Right, so that's that part done. Right, we're going to do the flower now. So I thought actually I would use, instead of using the card, I might use some more DSP. So I'm going to cut out the leaf and the flower. Now I want a contrasting colour, and I wonder, now actually I think I will leave it with card. I think I will go for the card, and let's just let me have a look, see in the scraps whether I've got, I forgot to see whether I've got something that I would like to use. Just double check. No, I've not. So I really want a one that's got like that pink, but I don't think I've got any of that started, and I don't want to cut into that because I want to cut the ducks out. Right, so we will bring in the card, and so I'm going to use Summer Splash for the leaves. So that's my Summer Splash. So just going to cut a bit of card off there. So let's just cut a piece there, and just cut a piece off there, and then we will go for the pinky colour now. What is the pinky colour called? Pretty in Pink. That's it. So I'm going to go for Pretty in Pink. Now with the Pretty in Pink, I'm going to cut 2 of these. So I want to be able to cut 2 of those. I'll show you why in a minute. So we'll put those in there. And I'll just put one of these, and we only need 1 of those. So Summer Splash and Pretty in Pink. Okay, so I'm just going to rub that through. Oops, if it doesn't move, and it's moved. So try not to move it again and hold it in place. Moved again. Come on, this is because I'm conscious that I'm off camera and I want to get back, so it's having me on. So it's got lovely detail, look. Oh, let me get this. See, it's got lovely detail there. And you can cut those off as well and use them, and look at the beautiful flower. It's got this little bit that it comes out in the middle, but look at the detail in the flower. That's lovely. I like that. So I want 2 of those. So I'm just going to run this through again to get 2, and I'll show you why. So I thought it's so fine, this here, and I want to stick it sort of there, and it pokes through, and I thought, well, actually I want to hold it in place, so I'm going to sandwich 2 together. So it was a bit tricky because it's not symmetrical. I didn't want to offset it. There we go, I found it. I want to do it exactly on top of each other. So I'm going to just flip that over, get my glue, and I'll glue all on here. And then I wanted to glue on there and there. Make sure. Going to pop that on there like that. Oops, got the glue and it's gone stringy now and it's following me. Get off. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in there, and then I know it's about there-ish. So is it that one there? No, I think it moved too much. Get off glue strings. So I'll get it in a minute. It'll behave in a minute. Those do look that, yeah, got it. So you just have to sort it out. You can pick it up now, push this into it, and so that is there. And I thought what to do then is bring in my little bag and my little envelope, and let me have a look at my positioning of my other one so I can see. So I'm going to put it sideways, and what I decided to do was put this on dimensionals. So I'm going to get a couple of dimensionals, and I've already got them out, and there they are. So I just used 2 small ones really. Thought that would be fun to stick 2 little ones on. I'll take the backs off. Okay, and pop that. Now before I commit to putting this down, what I'm going to do is get my flower, and I'm going to see where my flower can go. So my flower wants to go about there. So yeah, I think we can commit that of my flower. So and just a little bit of the leaf like that, and then stick this on there coming off. And then I thought I'd stick these gems that we got free with celebration, opaque faceted gems. Don't know the one. I'm going to go back for the brown. I think I'm going to use the brown ones. So I used one of the large ones and just stuck that in the middle there. But I might have put that a little bit further down on the last one and stick that in the middle. I perhaps stuck it on before I... Oops, come off. There. Okay, now I am going to prop that with a dimensional underneath now, because I realise that needs a little bit more support. So I'm just going to pop a dimensional, if I don't, stick that on there, take that off, and that will give it some support there. So I've got my little flower coming down like that. So just thought, and then you can take that out. So I don't glue that or anything, that's just loose to be able to pop in and out. But I hope you like my project. Please give me a thumbs up. And there's the other one that I did. So 2 different ones, so you can do different colour ways. Because this is a neutral, I will want to say, let's have a look. Let's see if I can pick out the colour. Is it one of, not quite clunky, it's not quite those, is it? That's all. Let's have a look if it's an old colour. It's very, I think it's very similar to Sahara sand. Very, very similar-ish to Sahara sand. Not quite, but very, very, very similar to that. So, but I just thought that was something nice to make with the bags. Whether I'll think of anything else to make with them as well, we'll see. But I just thought I'd pop on and show you how to make treat bags out of the little envelope. So thank you very much for watching. Do appreciate it that you've stopped by. Take care, stay safe, stay well. Bye for now.